JCB Scrapbooking back with another process video, and this one is for the 6x6 paper pad sketches. It's a class with Allison Davis, Scrapbook Generation, and we're supposed to use 6x6 paper pad. It's not a requirement, but that's what the tips are on. And I have a digital collection from my memories, and so I actually just printed it out into 6x6, and there's the two that I'm going to be using, and here are the pictures I'm going to be doing. And I can't show you the sketch, but I don't plan on veering too far from it, so let's see what we can do. So the first thing I do is cut my paper into the 6x6 squares, and then cut those squares into 3x1 inch to make banners. I'm not going to make you watch me do it all because it's just cutting paper. And so I got them all into the 6x6 squares. Now here is where I'm cutting them into 3-inch long by 1-inch wide banners. And I'm going to do that with every all 8 pieces. So there they are in little piles beside me. And now I'm going to cut my pictures down, and I cut them to roughly 3x4, but a couple are a little bigger. Like this one here, it was like 3.5 because I couldn't cut too much off, or I'd be cutting my daughter off and the snowman that she was building. So here's the pictures. It's like stages. Her building the body of the snowman, the head of the snowman, and then her, once it's all done, beside the little snow, I guess it's a snow girl, not a snowman. So in the sketch, the first picture is the only one that is matted. So I take a piece of this blue that was left over from the 3-inch that I cut the other ones out of. So I am paper piecing it because I don't want to print out just this one little page. So I'm just going to paper piece it together here behind the picture. I mean, it is really nice having a digital. You can print out pieces of paper that you need, but it takes a lot of ink. So I don't print out very often because ink's expensive. And so, and you can't even tell that it's paper pieced together. So it looks good. And now I'm going to cut my little banners. At first I was thinking maybe I was just going to leave them as squared off, but then she has banners in the sketch and I really liked the way they looked, so I'm going to do the banners. And here's where I'm deciding that I forgot I needed a couple pieces of paper for different banners on the top of the sketch, and I didn't want those two solids next to each other, so I do that variegated blue, and then I do the snowflake blue, and then I go with this pinky red color, and because it's a dark solid, and then I'm going to go with this plaid and the green solid, and then back to this striped, and so I do that on the top, get them all glued down, and the bottom, just repeating that same pattern over and over. And then here's where I'm just showing you how I'm lining up my banners as I put them down. I use this, it's a clear ruler for quilting, and it works perfect for laying things down, getting it nice and square. I can see through it, but it gives me the nice square edges. And so I did not repeat the same I did repeat the same pattern, but I started in a different spot, so that the banners on the top and bottom are different. I did not want them to line up. They're close, but they don't line up perfectly, and I wanted that because I didn't want it to look like stripes behind the pictures. And so, figuring out how I want these pictures arranged. And I had one more picture in this series but I could not figure out how to get 4 pictures to look good on here. And so I didn't put it on, but it's okay. You can get the idea of her sculptures that she made out of snow here. The first picture is her working on the legs and body. The second picture is just a close-up of the face. And the third picture is it all done. It's like a girl sitting cross-legged in the snow. It's really cute. She's very talented. So I needed one more color, so I just used a piece of white because I'm going to put 3 banners on the top, and they're 1 inch by 1.5 inches. And so I'm just going to put them right over the seams of these, the bottom banners. And I think I probably should have popped these up because they kind of get lost under with all the other pattern and everything. I tried to keep it the more of the solid patterns, but it's that darker blue that I matted the picture in, the plain white, and then a green snowflake is the other one. It's just like the blue snowflake, but green. And it was a little too high, that snowflake one was, so I'm popping it down and just going to trim off the end there. So those are where my 2 embellishment clusters are going to go. In the sketch, she had flowers there, but I didn't think flowers were going to work in my snow pictures, so I went to my trusty snowflake bin here, and I still have lots and lots of snowflakes that I cut out with my Cricut using, I think it was a Spiegelmom Scraps cut file, and I've cut it out twice in 2 different sizes, and I love it. And I usually use the back of a paper pad, well actually, yes, the back cover of the paper pad, because it's nice thick cardstock, cuts out really well, and it's white on one side. So when I flip them over and glue them down every once in a while, you'll notice that they're like black or a pattern or whatever. That's why. But I am going to pop each one of these snowflakes up on a little bit of foam, and at first I'm just sticking one piece in the center just to see how I like it, and then off camera I'll pop the rest of it up and glue them down. But see how that one's yellow and black? That's because that'd be the cover of a paper pad. And I'm just going to yeah. So off camera I do glue all those down, finish popping them up because it took a while to pop them up and try and get those little bitty pieces done. And then I went to my Tim Holtz word phrases, and I pulled out different phrases. And the first one I put down was, well, actually I'll read them in the order that they're done in. It's live, create, tell the story, work of art, be amazed, creativity takes courage, have a little sparkle wherever you go. And I just thought those sentiments worked perfect. And here I'm doing some faux stitching. I'm going to do them across the top and bottom with this black inky pen. And I really like the way that this looks. And I love the way stitching looks on a layout. I don't do very much stitching on layouts, but I love faux stitching. I wanted to do some stamping, but I didn't want to try to bring out my big stamps since I already had everything glued down with the foam. It wasn't going to work, so I pulled out these rub-ons from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just giving it like little branches, and I think I do a couple of branches in the upper and lower clusters, and then a snowflake in the middle cluster there, and I think a heart, just a couple, just to tie in that black stitch line that I drew on. So I'm putting just a little bit of black in each of the clusters, and I like how they look. It makes the clusters pop a little bit more. This tool that I'm using to for the rub-ons has a very sharp pokey end on one side, and then a great rub-on tool thing on the other. I picked it up at the craft aisle at the Dollar Tree. I don't know what it's actually used for, but it works perfect for these rub-ons. And then sometimes I can't pick up that paper, especially when I cut my nails. And so that pokey end just slides right underneath there and pulls that plastic right off. So it works good. So I'm still just looking to see what else I can add. And this is where I find that little snowflake, I believe. Yep, there it is. And so I'm going to add that right there. And most of the time I move my layout off to the side of my mat because it is a latex mat, so it squishes underneath, so it's great for stamping. Not so good for the rub-ons, but I got it to work. So sorry for hitting the camera there when I was cleaning up. So here I pull in some stamps. I decided to do a couple little snowflakes, and that's the wrong one, so you'll see the stamps switch out here. So this set has the little snowflakes in it, and so I'm going to do them in blue, and they're little enough and I'm going to put them where they're not going to mess with the raised die cut snowflakes that I put on. So, and it's just another something for my clusters so they're not all just white and paper. And I'm going with this font for my title, and it's just going to be Snow Time. And I'm not going to make you watch me glue it all down because I get to about here and decide that I want to pop them all up on foam. And yeah, it took a long time to cut the foam and stick them on. So with the magic of YouTube, I just cut all that out, and ta-da! Now Snow Time is on that cluster, and it needed sparkle. So I'm just going to dump out some glue on this piece of paper here. Use this little tool that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. It has two little round balls, one smaller than the other. I think it's for like scoring paper or something, but it works great for, I put glue on one end of it and dab it down, then flip it over and grab a sequin with the other end and stick it in the glue. And yeah, it works real fast, easy, and I don't have to try to stick my fingers into my sequin bin because that doesn't work. And so it works really good and I'm putting 2 different colors of blue sequins down, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it and seeing where I think they look good. And but yeah, just giving it a little bit of finishing here, and then I am going to come in after I'm done with the sequins and do a couple little black dots with my puffy paint. I think I just do a couple in each cluster and call it good. So I hope you like this layout. It was so fun to do. I really like the way that this digital paper printed out. It's so pretty. And yeah, if you like it, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Bye.